Hi, you guys. Welcome to my channel. My name is Karen Odd, and these are Karen's Oddities. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Either way, I do want to ask that you subscribe to my channel so that you can catch my future content. I also want to ask that you like this video, comment your thoughts, even if you disagree with my content, and share it with someone that you know. So these are Robe Conversations. Also mixed into there, we're doing a rule series where I mentioned previously that I wrote out a list of several dozens of rules that I think are super important just to living a well-balanced life. So in these videos, what I'm doing is I am discussing one, introducing what that rule is, and then breaking it down to explain how you should apply it and how you should take it into your personal life. So I did select this starting the video. It's off of my notebook where I've had this for over a year now, a year and a couple of months, where I'm just writing a lot of my ideas, thoughts, journaling, etc. So the rule that we're going to cover today, it doesn't have a number associated with it. Some of these were numbered, some of these were not. But either way, this rule says, there are people that do not even deserve to know that you miss them. Okay? Sometimes I try to reflect on what was going on in my life when I put together this rule or when I wrote it down. I think I can't reflect on the exact moment, but I think I know who this rule was talking about, right? And for me, it was, and I've mentioned this in a previous video, right? I was in a long, toxic relationship that lasted like 10 years of my life and still lingers to some degree. And because that relationship was so unhealthy, I knew that there was no benefit for me or for that person or for the remains of this connection for that person to know that I missed them, right? I also knew that based on the character of that person, me letting them know that I missed them was just additional fuel to ridicule me, additional ammunition for them to have power over me. There's no benefit to it, right? So that's besides the point. That was my essentially motivation for identifying this rule. But let's talk about how we can apply this in our regular life even now, right? Yes, I think this rule can be fueled by ego, which we all have one, right? Some of ours is larger than others. Some of our egos are triggered by different things. This was definitely triggered by my ego, but separate from the ego, this rule was identified because I think it's a way to not just protect ourselves emotionally, sometimes spiritually, energetically, physically, but separate from that, it's necessary because it protects where we're giving our energy. It protects where we are investing our thoughts. It protects us from clouding our judgment, from clouding our thinking, from taking away our time and energy from other goals or things that we need to be focused on, right? So I think that not sharing with someone that you miss them, first and foremost, it's a level of protection. You're protecting yourself from this person, you're protecting your heart, you're protecting your energy, and you're really staying focused on what matters the most. Obviously, it is up to you completely to discern whether or not that person deserves to know you miss them. Only you know the level of what that connection meant to you, whether or not that connection was healthy, whether or not that person is deserving, whether or not you have forgiven this person, whether or not they deserve your forgiveness. However, if you've asked yourself all of those questions and the answer is no, they're not worthy. No, they don't deserve your forgiveness. No, it was not a healthy relationship. This is a rule that you need to follow. Okay, so I want to separate two scenarios, right? One scenario is, yes, it was a healthy relationship. Yes, I think they deserve to know that I missed them. They were good to me. We had a specific falling out. This rule does not apply to those connections, okay? I think that when we talk about forgiveness, sometimes our ego can get in the way in general, and we apply that across the board, right? Even when the connection was healthy, when it was good, when it was our fault, we will apply the ego, we'll let the ego take over, and we will never apologize, we'll never reach out, we'll never get closure. That is not what I'm talking about. So for the people that are in this situation where there is someone that you know potentially that you need to forgive or ask for forgiveness or receive and accept forgiveness from, please do that, because that is going to really help you heal as an individual. It's going to help clear out whatever resentment you may have inside of you, which is essentially making you sick. Like if you hold a lot of resentment or anger, there is scientific proof that that can start causing you physical ailments, um, cancer, stress, heart disease, heart issues, infection, disease. Like everything is linked together. Everything we think, everything we say, everything we do, everywhere we go, our bodies, how they function, everything is connected. So if you are in this bucket, I am telling you now, and this is a message for you, please set your ego aside and make amends with that person. Reach out to them, have a conversation. I feel like someone that's watching this video needs to hear this. I've had friends as well, or even strangers. I've ran into strangers, and for some reason something comes up about someone they haven't forgiven, and I'm like, you need to reach out. Or I'll just get this feeling to tell them, like, there is someone that you need to reach out to, right? So if you're watching this video and you have a connection right now that's out, and you know that it should be restored, that you would feel better if it were restored, that you were potentially in the wrong, or maybe you weren't in the wrong, but you were ready to forgive that person, I'm telling you now, please reach out to that person. You'll be pleasantly surprised with how they respond to you. And I think that you will be much more happy when the relationship is restored, if it is capable of being restored. And even if it is not, you'll be much happier knowing that there is closure there and you have a better understanding of what caused the fallout to begin with. Now that we've covered that section, let's talk about the terrible connections that don't deserve to know anything about you and don't deserve to know you miss them. That's what this rule is written for. Okay, so I'm talking about, for this rule of there are people that do not even deserve to know that you miss them, I'm talking about the unhealthy connections. People that disregarded your feelings. People that have a character flaw, that are not good to you, that are not kind to you, that enjoy seeing you hurt, that were potentially abusive, physically, verbal, emotionally. That's who I'm talking about here. So if you were someone that, because I think when this was going on, I wasn't fresh in my breakup, but it was still very much hurting me, right? And I'd have this person reaching out to me, or sometimes I would just feel compelled to reach out to them, and I would give in to all of those urges, right? And then I had an awakening, and I'm like, no, fuck that. They do not deserve to know that I'm thinking about them. They do not deserve to know that I miss them, because they never valued me when we were together, right? So if you are currently experiencing a breakup, or there is someone from your past that you were reminiscing about, that you were thinking about, you have to start rewiring your brain to really understand and see everything holistically and see it truly for what it was and what it is. You have to stop being delusional. You have to stop being delusional. Okay, if you know that there were a lot of things that were wrong with that connection, if your family and friends have told you, if you can think of memories that are super unpleasant and that hurt you because they were so difficult to live when you lived through them, those are signs that this is not healthy for you, that there is no way around it. It will not get better. It would not be better the next time around. There are people that come into our lives, as they say, for a reason and a season. They're just here to teach us something. They're here to show us something. They're here to make us experience maybe something really shitty so we can learn our lesson, right? Because sometimes I think that when we are not learning our lesson on our own, whether that's like God, the universe, trying to teach us something, if we are not picking that up, then sometimes people are going to come into our lives to force us to learn lessons, right? So if you, as I mentioned, if you're currently missing someone, or you're currently in a breakup and you know that that relationship is whack, it's trash, please do not reach out to that person. Block them. Okay, blocking is like my favorite tool right now, literally. Well, it was a year ago. Right now I haven't really had a need to block people, but a year ago I just decided to do like a human detox, but not the standard detox. I was doing that too, but yeah, kind of like a social detox, right? So I talk about, I'm off of social media right now. I have like 82 people blocked, And I'm not unblocking them anytime soon. And I didn't just block them on my phones, right? I blocked them on my email. I blocked them anywhere that they can access me. I moved. I'm in a different community. I'm in a different neighborhood. I am off their radar, and I want to stay off their radar. And I want them to stay off of my radar as well, because I decided at some point that certain connections that I had were no longer healthy for me. Those connections were no longer doing anything for me. They weren't helping me get to where I wanted to be. I wasn't feeling good about them. They weren't giving me anything. And sometimes when I say this, people think it's selfish that I think of relationships as transactional, but the reality is relationships are transactional, right? You don't want to have a friend that's just always taking your energy, taking your things, taking your time, taking your money, and never giving, never helping you, never being there when you need them. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants a one-sided friendship, a one-sided relationship, a one-sided family member. Nobody wants that. So yes, relationships are very much transactional. And we have to be aware of, are we getting what we're putting in, or are we getting enough of what's worth continuing the connection? So if you have people that you know it was very transactional and you were always getting the short end of the stick, I'm telling you now, there is power in blocking. There is power in not communicating. There is power in not responding. There is power in not letting them know how you truly feel. Of course, right? We spend years and years with people. We have these lovely memories because not everything was shit, right? Some of the things were great. But at the end of the day, all those things that were shit were not worth it. They were not things that you deserve. So because of that, yes, the person does not deserve to know that you're thinking about them. You don't want to feed their ego. Don't feed the monster, as Tyler's Tarot would say. Do not feed the monster. Starve the monster, because eventually the monster will die. Not literally, although we will all die at some point. But do not feed the monster. Don't do that. If you feel the urge to contact someone and tell them that you miss them, that means that you're not doing enough for yourself. That means that you're not busy enough. Pick up a damn book, write a journal, go for a walk, go to the gym, make a new meal, do some laundry, clean your bathroom, take out the trash, do something, anything. Put your phone on airplane mode. Go meditate somewhere in a corner. Do anything. Go for a drive. Listen to your favorite music, but don't listen to that sad music that makes you think about this person, right? You have to recorrect and kind of like reroute your thinking and get it off of that person, thing, idea, or experience. And this is not just for romantic relationships, right? This could also be for friends that were frenemies, that weren't really real friends, that were fake as fuck. This could be family that's draining as fuck, that's unhealthy as fuck, that's codependent. Fuck them. Fuck the family, fuck the friend, fuck the relationship, right? And I think in the last like 2 years, I'm just like, I'm not giving to things that don't give to me anymore, or things that don't feel good anymore. It doesn't matter to me if it's family. It doesn't matter if it's a friendship. It doesn't matter if it's an old relationship. I'm not doing it anymore. Life is short as shit. And the only people I want around me are people that love and care about me. And that should be the same for you. You should only want people around you that love and care about you and want the best for you. People that you feel good around when you're with them, not people that make you feel like shit, not people that when you leave them, you start to wonder, what do they really mean by that, right? Those are the people that you need to start like looking into and focusing on, of like, every time I'm around them, they say something negative, but it's like super passive aggressive. And then they try to laugh about it like if it's a joke. That's not a good person. That person does not have your best intention in mind. They're probably jealous of you or angry at you, or for whatever reason, you need to cut them out, right? So hopefully I covered what I meant to cover with this rule, but I said the things that were coming to mind. But again, the rule is, as a reminder, there are people that do not even deserve to know that you miss them. And as I mentioned, relationships, family, friends. Sometimes people think just because someone is our family that, that saying like blood is thicker than water. Fuck that. As long as I'm not bleeding, I don't care. And I know it's really, really selfish and shitty. I think being selfish is important to some degree. And I think I'll make a video on selfishness in a healthy way. Yeah, it's important to some degree. It's super important, especially when you've been someone that's always given so much of yourself to others and to other connections. You will feel so much better when you free yourself from unhealthy, imbalanced connections. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts below. I would love to see you in the next video. So as I mentioned, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Have a good rest of your weekend. Thank you so much.